Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Exo, Aibo.
Kamen Rider W.
Yes, we're continuing our odyssey of the mystery that plagued Fuuto City and bringing it to tears. All those evil villains better count up their sins. And of course, I am Detective TimeRider Zero, and with me is my partner, Jen Pink. How are you all doing?
Hey guys, we finally get a part 2.
Yep. Yes, and of course, we are reviewing Fuuto P.I. Episode 2, Beware of T. The culprit is right there. And yes, I did mention last episode that, the first half of the episode would be called Beware of T. But one thing I did not suspect was the fact that there would be no conclusion in this episode.
Oh.
That's really weird.
For all my anime fans, be a Crunchyroll premium subscriber so you can get the newest episode of Fuuto P.I every Sunday.
Right, Fuuto P.I. That's what you're gonna call it.
Right?
Anyways, I will say this much. I was definitely surprised with some things that happened in this episode and some things that didn't happen in this episode. Most notably, for those of you who, well, first of all, let's just get the big thing out of the way. The fascinating thing about this setup is Jen has never watched Kamen Rider W, while I have. So we're looking at two different perspectives of this anime, and the only way things could get more interesting is if we had a third person who did read the manga, because neither of us has.
Yeah, but how are we going to read the manga when the manga's never been translated?
You read in Japanese.
What makes it even harder? And on top of that, most Japanese have kanji. That's even way harder there.
That's
like
true.
The Japanese manga has way more kanji. So because for everyone to know, kanji is kind of like a small letter, so they can fit all that space in. So it makes it even harder.
And like, I think the more, I always have this rule: the more languages you learn, the easier it is to learn newer languages. I for one, definitely want to learn Japanese because eventually I do want to go to Japan, check out Osaka, Sapporo, Nagoya, Kyoto, Matsuyama, just to give a few examples, and maybe I will stumble upon a mystery for me to solve.
But yeah, that's really it. I just wish, I wish is like we couldn't get an English translation.
But yeah, speaking as someone who did watch the live action show, I was really surprised that this episode wasn't a two-parter, because every episode except for the last one in the live action show was a two-part episode. And here it looks like we're gonna go into part 3.
I will say this: it's not extremely ambiguous, the ending.
I mean, it's not that it was ambiguous. It's just that usually a case is resolved in 2 episodes in the live action show. I mean, I get it. They're trying to go off of the manga, which means they have multiple chapters, and sometimes it's like 1 episode per chapter, or like they squeeze like 3 chapters into 2 episodes, depending. I'm going off of JoJo because it's the only JoJo and Death Note are the only 2 mangas I really collect, so I like making those comparisons. But yeah, I was definitely like deer in headlights about it not being a 2-parter.
Okay, you want to give a quick recap of part 2?
Actually, funny you mention recaps, because the episode starts off with a recap board, just like in the live action show. And by the way,
I love that connection right there.
Yeah,
they look so alike too.
Yeah, and I actually appreciate that they went with this, because like for example, you got the client at the bottom in the middle, and you got the target of the mystery at the top in the middle, and of course on the upper left corner you have the detective team On at the bottom you have the informants, and on the right side you got all other people that have been questioned during the mystery. And of course, I love that they kept to the theme of having that bulletin board, because it's one of those aesthetic things. And yeah, we got a recap.
And it's also
We
really quick, so
Yeah,
you don't really we don't realize it.
yeah. So Chuto is a client who's trying to find a mysterious witch who stole his bag. Shotaro and the rest of the detective agency were able to question Santa-chan, Looker Man, Queen and Elizabeth, etc., and of course the police department, and they got entangled with the mafia. But who is the mysterious dopant that's been attacking them at the end of the episode?
And on top of that, one of the mafia man's men got killed, right? And everybody's
Yes.
assuming that it's the witch that killed, or better yet, cannibalized, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Well,
The
that
mafia.
person. Well, the dopant did human flesh. So insert reference to the latest episode of American Horror Stories.
Mhm.
Alrighty. But yeah, so we do finally get to see the theme song of we do get to see the theme song finally in episode 2, and it's really nice. We got Aya and Takumi coming back together. They did do a collaborative for the original theme song, WBX Boiled Extreme, which is one of my favorite Kamen Rider theme songs. And then they came back together one more time for the theme song of the video game Memory of Heroes. And you've seen me and Leo both play that game. It was fun when he found out that's what I got him for his birthday. But yeah, some things we do see in the theme song. We finally actually get to see Ryu. And yes, he and Akiko are married. And it's just nice seeing him come back, even though he's not in the episode. He's just in the theme song. But I do appreciate that we do see the base forms for Kamen Rider Double. We got Cyclone Joker, Heat Metal, and Luna Trigger, all very beautiful. And
Nice screenshots.
and we get to see all 3 of Kamen Rider XL's forms.
Hey, I love those little glimpses that you have because they're so quick, but you know what's gonna happen.
I'm very anal when it comes to collecting screenshots. Like I really go into those little those little frames, like if it's like a 30 frame per second, I go through all 30 frames. Yes, and of course we do see a glimpse of the bad guys, and one thing I did notice with certainty is that one of them is a brachiosaur. What are your thoughts of the bad guy dopants?
Oh, okay. So this first dopant that we see, right? Wait. Take off the screenshot so we can see our video. There you go. So my first thoughts were, I'm not gonna lie, it looks really creepy. Like, you know how she's like, I'm thirsty, and because you know how the dopant's really hungry, right? But
you're talking about the road dopant.
yeah, the road dopant. I forgot there's different types of dopant, but I thought she was really cool. I will say this: it looks like every typical Power Ranger villain. But I really like the mecha aesthetics. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Looking at the main villains, there was a girl dressed as a Lolita that looks like some kind of banshee with a giant eye in her mouth.
Oh, that.
Yeah, and there's another guy who looks like he has all these nuts and bolts around his body. So I'm thinking he might have like a steam thing going on. And of course, the main villain looks like he has like all this cosmic energy going about him. Now, obviously, I haven't read the manga, so I don't know what exactly are the memories they're using, but at least I know this much. The fourth dude is definitely a brachiosaur.
Mm. And on top of that, they, aside from the dopant that they briefly explain in the series, they also explain the Gaia memories.
Yes, they actually finally explained the Gaia memories and the magic that's been sold around town that was mentioned in the previous episode. Mm-hmm. So we do see a glimpse of the members of Museum, which include Similodon, Claydol, Taboo, which we saw in the previous episode in the flashback, and of course their leader, Terror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Overall, I really like the whole idea of Gaia memories and how they have a chip making them superhuman and whatnot.
Yeah.
Overall, I will say this though. I think it had a good theme. I mean,
Mhm.
like honestly, the funny part was, you know how like Tokima takes a shower
Yeah.
on the fountain, right? They
Yep.
had to make it even more sexier.
Yeah. I
Ah,
mean, it is manga and anime, so I think they are able to get away with more things because Kamen Rider W, the actual TV show, is targeted towards kids. But I think when you get a manga anime spin-off, I think you could get away with more things because you're
because like
targeting towards late teenagers that grew up with the show or like or
she's
the
naked in this one. The first episode, it was a silhouette.
yeah. Well, again, Nazca was like you could see his naked butt in the second episode.
Okay.
So and it's live action on a kids show. So that's so again, we're questioning how much we could get away with certain things.
It's okay. It's anime.
Yeah, it is. It is anime, but yeah. So we do want to find out more about who this Dopont is, and we do finally see the Gaia library that Philip uses to help
That
solve the
was so
case.
freaking cool.
Yeah,
Like he's like a human library, right? I love like those little things that he has. Like I don't know how to explain it, but he's like a human version of Google.
yeah. He basically is, and of course, like when you enter more keywords to his search, it narrows down the results into a single book that gives him the complete answer that he's looking for. But again, you have to enter the correct keywords in order to narrow it down all the way to a single book. Other,
Mm.
as they mentioned, because they didn't have the adequate number of keywords, they ended up with 57 search results in this episode. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on this ability?
I thought Philip is the coolest character. You know what? Even though like he doesn't really fight, because you know how towards I won't say the end, but you know how when they do the transformation,
Yeah.
Philip kind of just like once he lends him his power, he kind of falls asleep or something.
Mhm.
I think he's the coolest character ever, even though he's not the one that's really fighting. It's Detective Shotaro. I
Yeah.
think that I don't know. Maybe because I have a thing for he looks I don't know, he looks like those like handsome anime boy that like is really smart. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of that nerd from Code Lyoko. Maybe that's what it is.
Wait. Are you talking about Jeremy or Aelita?
Return to the past or something like that.
Oh, Jeremy.
Yeah, maybe that's why. But I love Philip. Cool character.
Yeah.
I wish I knew more about him. He doesn't really get that much screen time, but he
Mhm.
does play a cool role.
Okay. Well, we do see another returning character from the TV show, Akira. Now, here's the thing. It took me a hot minute to figure out who Akira was because like I didn't remember seeing him that much in the show, and there's a good reason for it because he was actually a little kid who only showed up in the last episode of the live action show. So like he was actually his former client. So it's really interesting that they got a character who's like that small and brought him back to like a larger capacity.
And he has a girlfriend.
And he has a girlfriend now. So yeah, definitely a little bit of time has passed since the end of W, and we do know enough. We do know enough to know that this did take place after the VSNX movies. So like we do know that Akiko, well, for us live action watchers, we do know that Akiko and Ryo are already married, and she's a loving housewife with a Kamen Rider allergy. God, I just love the prequel movie. But yes, so some time has passed. Oh, it's only natural that he's in late middle school now, and already has a girlfriend.
Wow.
I don't know how that's surprising though. It's like yeah, like don't a lot of ninth graders have girlfriends?
Not me.
Okay. I definitely don't want to talk about my love life back in middle school and high school. Not because I didn't have one, but because I just don't want to talk about it.
It's okay. Everybody has different experiences. But overall, I like this. I don't want to say it's a two-part, but it does complete the main storyline about Tokime.
I guess, but the case is not completely resolved, though, because we do find out several things about her. First of all, while she's not accountable... Oh, wait, actually, first of all, we finally do see the dopant.
See, look, she looks so cool. It's like a Mecha Godzilla. Maybe that's what it reminds me of.
He reminds me of a Mega Man villain.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. Actually, come to think of it, all of these guys look like Mega Man villains, especially the main villain. He reminds me of Cosmo Man from Battle Network 5.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But yes, so this is the road dopant, and he has an appetite for human flesh. Of course, we find out that Tokime is not accountable, nor is she the dopant involved, even though she does have her own Gaia memory, which is broken, by the way. So what were your thoughts on this revelation, that she's an amnesiac?
I never suspected she would eat people, honestly. What I did not expect... Wait, take off the screenshot. Show my video. Show her.
Come on.
Take off the overlay so I can show my face, so I can give you my reaction.
Oh.
All right, there you go. So overall, I thought it was cool. I will say this though, I never suspected that she would be the potential road dopant, but one of the biggest surprising thing was when you find out one of the mafia men was the real road dopant all this time.
Yep, it was the right-hand man all along.
Mm-hmm. Cool character. I wouldn't be surprised personally. I mean, like, the guy's hungry.
Hungry.
Yeah.
Hungry.
What are your thoughts on the fight scene? You know how they did their first transformation. Do you think the fight scene was really cool?
Well, obviously they did not get to fight in costume, but the fact that Shotaro was without Philip, he even left his belt behind. Like, it is very interesting, like, because Shotaro now has to fight him all by himself, and I love how he does take advantage of the hard-boilder to help him in the battle. Now, for those of you who don't know, the hard-boilder is a giant road vehicle that contains the parts to his motorcycle, and yes, the back half of his motorcycle can be removed in exchange for another back end, so it has flight and aquatic mobility.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love seeing the process of how, like, the back half is, like, swapped out in the actual TV show, and I can't wait to see it in the anime.
Okay.
And also, like, really great animation with all the dust settling in.
Yeah, I think to me what I really like about it is, aside from, like, the anime, I love the lighting, the shading and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, how, like, when they show, like, people's faces, it isn't just like,
right.
Like, I don't know how to explain it. It has, like, they show emotion.
Right. Like, it makes good use of multiple angles of lighting to show, like, the contrast between the light and the dark at different angles. Something I'm not very good at. I mean, just look at my face. Ugh. All the light's coming only from one angle. Nevertheless, Philip and Akiko do show up, and we finally get to see the transformation sequence. And there are some details that I never noticed during the actual live action show, like those lines on Shotaro's face. Yes, Philip does pass out like he does in the TV show, and we finally get to see Kamen Rider W about to get into action with the signature pose. It's time to count up your sins. So, thoughts on the transformation?
The transformation was cool. I'm gonna be honest with you about something. So I've seen the live action version compared to this one. It's more cheesier in the live action, but when you look at this in, like, anime form, it looks really cool. Cause, like, how, like, I don't know how to explain it. It looks more realistic because like, the little details that they have, right? Because in live action, of course they're using CG transformation, but it doesn't feel authentic.
So what you're basically saying is the anime version looks better because it has more of a magical girl aesthetic.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Like, it goes to the chest, then to the arms, the other arm, the face.
I'm not gonna lie, because, like, now that I'm watching this, grown adult, right?
Yeah.
It looks like when you watch live action, like, transformation, like, they do those transformations from Power Rangers and whatnot. It looks very cheesy, but when you watch it in anime form, it's not bad. Like, it's not cringy to look at. I don't know if you feel the same way, but that's me.
I still like some transformations in the live action shows. Like for example, I'll never get tired of watching characters from Gaim transform with a giant fruit falling on their head and then folding out into armor, or just like seeing those giant coins when Kamen Rider O's transforms. And Kabuto, don't get me started on Kabuto.
Well, yeah, that's just me. Maybe because maybe you're right. It is more magical girl feel. Maybe that's why I like the anime version.
Yeah,
Better.
yeah, because when it's an anime, like you have to like use multiple panels to like show the transformation process, and I think they are adapting the whole use of panels by making like different, like showing different close-up shots of the different parts of the body transforming separately. And the thing is, it gives it more aesthetic and seeing like the details of the transformation, like how there's like wind on the right half because it's cyclone, and how there's like more electricity on the left half because it's Joker. Yeah. And yeah, it's like, you want to be cost effective when you're doing live action.
But yeah.
Yeah. So final thoughts, likes, dislikes, score out of 10. Go.
All right, I would say this is a 9 out of 10 just because well, because I really like Philip. Honestly, Philip's my favorite character in the series. 9 out of 10 just because it's really good. The only thing I dislike was I guess we don't get enough screen time of Tokime. Like I don't really care about the whole shower scene in the fountain that she's naked. That was a little awkward, but personally. But I guess I wish I would have seen more screen time of Tokime.
Yeah. No, and
based on by memory too.
And based on the theme song, it definitely creates the imagery that she will be becoming a regular character moving forward. I don't know the exact details of like how it's going to play out. I think Shotaro either just has the hots for her, or just feels like he's obliged to help her find her memories.
Also, I want to pinpoint the reason why I give this 9 out of 10 is because I know we talk about the opening theme, but the ending theme was amazing. That's my favorite part. The ending, especially when they do that dance move or whatever.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Yeah, maybe we should like learn it and then do it at Power Morphicon.
Well, kind of, but it's like kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Yeah. But I like that dance theme in the end. The ending song to that is my favorite song. It's amazing. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this episode in general? Likes, dislikes, opening, and you give your thoughts on the opening and ending theme too.
Okay, well, the opening, it's really fast. I don't think I was able to.
You can't capture all of it. You can't capture all the details.
I can't. I feel like I need to get used to the song a little bit. Because it's way faster paced than WBX Boiled Extreme, and I don't mean to compare the two, because I know like one's a live action, the other is animated, but still it's like I wish it was a little bit slower, like the original theme song, a little jazzier, a little smoother. But yeah, the outro is pretty fun. It's got a bit of a bebop to it. And I do love how in the outro clip, we actually do see Mick, because turns out Mick is still alive. And he's being taken care of by Philip. And, that's nice. Like, you don't want to kill the cat, even though it turned into a dopant. Nevertheless, I give the episode a 9 out of 10 as well, because I feel like they should have done a thing where, like, they compress the entire thing into a 2-episode thing just to stick to the theme of the TV show. But, yeah, I'm curious if Ryu will actually show up during this case, or if he'll make his first appearance during the next case.
So was that your dislike? You just wanted to see Ryu make more screen time?
Well, I'm just curious. Well, yeah, he's like, they don't give a reason for him to not be there, but at the same time, it's like I hope there's a good reason why he's not there. And I'm just curious, will he show up at the end of this case or sometime during the next case, to slow down? I'm fine either way. It's just I'm just curious how it would play out. But one thing that did strike me as weird is if they established that in a theme song that that Ryu does have extreme and booster forms. Why don't Shotaro and Philip use Cyclone Joker extreme form? Just
Okay,
saying, you have
I
access
really
to it,
understand.
and we do see
That
the
one I
extreme memory
don't
in the
know.
previous episode.
That one I don't know. Okay.
It's like every time Kamen Rider Kabuto makes a cameo in future team ups, he has to just stand there, do nothing, and take a hit. Otherwise, he'd be too overpowered to justify any of the other riders being there.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's my thoughts. 9 out of 10, so 9 out of 10 across the board. Let's look at the comments.
Oh, so what are your thoughts on the ending theme? You want to dance to that?
Yeah,
No,
we could
no,
dance to it.
no.
You
No,
could dance if
it's
you
only
want
a
to.
short.
You could leave your friends behind because they don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
No, it's a quick show, but I will say the ending's so like the ending's music is so good. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. So L'Oreal says, "Hi Kawata, hi Jen. What's up? How you
Hi,
doing, L'Oreal?
love you.
I hear you about the manga. Sailor Moon is the only one I collect." Okay. Let's see. The anime dude in the picture looks pretty hot. Not as hot as Saber. Oh my god.
Oh.
I love the design of the Kamen Rider suits here. Well, yeah, it's true. I like the bad guy designs. I gotta get better at drawing mine. Hey, always get some practice in. The cosmic design one of them, yeah, that one's also pretty cool. Let's see. The Gaia library is so freaking amazing. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Philip's amazing and cool.
Mhm.
Who's your favorite? Oh, by the way, I know it's too early, but who's your favorite character, Mike?
Who's my favorite character in
This anime right now.
Okay, in the anime. Okay. Do I get to say Shokichi Narumi? I mean, you do technically see him for 2 seconds in the first episode. Because in W, Kamen Rider Skull is my favorite character. Akiko's dad and the original main detective. So, but the thing is, like, technically he's in the anime because you do see him die at the beginning and give Shotaro his hat. So it's like it counts, I guess.
Right, then. Wow. Okay.
Nah, but Akiko is pretty fun here. No, I actually find it interesting how they animated her. The mecha looks awesome. He looks like Gutsman from Mega Man.
Oh, he does, huh? I didn't think about that.
Yeah, let's see. A magical girl aesthetic, you say?
Of course.
Now you're talking my language.
Like, think about it. I know Sailor Moon is not like is a girl thing, but if you think about Power Rangers, like a guy thing, right? But maybe that's why we love it because it has that Sailor Senshin aesthetic.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Says Psycho Orange. And he says, I recommend you guys watch Guyver, Out of Control. It came out in 86. Now, okay, so maybe not on this channel, but I will say this. I loved watching Guyver too. It's one of those rare instances where an American live action anime was good. The first one, not so great. Like, as much as I like Mark Hamill, the first Guyver movie was not so hot.
Okay. I've never heard of Guyver, but I'll check into it. Thank you for your recommendation.
Yeah, it is a tokusatsu themed anime, and it was mentioned by my friend Joe Doherty, the guy who made 7 Days in Japan. It's a great a documentary. Definitely check it out.
I know somebody recommended Mazinger to me, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Mazinger is a classic. Of course, you can't go wrong with Robotech / Macross. Gotcha Man. There's a lot of Toku themed anime out there that should be checked out. If they have live action adaptations, I'm down to check them out. But I don't know whether or not we'll do it on this channel or on some other platform because we've done reviews on other platforms before. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it for the comments. Obviously, Saturday we'll be doing Kamen Rider Revise episode 47, and I'm not looking forward to it for Reasons I already explained in the previous Revice review. But of course, if you like watching Fuuto P.I or Kamen Rider Revice, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and ding the bell icon because them algorithm dopants really like to redirect algorithms away from content creators. Nevertheless, we appreciate all of you watching us and staying over. If you like Super Sentai, we are reviewing Avatar Sentai Tom Brothers. And I can't wait to watch the next episode. That's all I'm gonna say about it. The rest of the team is playing keep up, and of course, we will also be reviewing Power Rangers Dino Fury when new episodes come out on Netflix. With all that said, guys, where can they find you, Jen?
You can find me in about 2 weeks from now, Power Morphicon on August 28th. No, I needed to say that. Sorry. That was just a shameless self-promo. But yes, we will be at Power Morphicon. But in terms of me personally, you can find me on Instagram at Genmessina, that's GNMESINA. And you can find me at TikTok at GMessy2. Where can they find you, Mike?
Okay, you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto, where I've been playing Shadow the Hedgehog, taking a break from Fallen Order until the AC gets fixed. I'll figure out what we'll be doing on Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. With that said, you can also find me on Power Morphicon from the 26th to 28th.
Good shameless self-promo.
Yeah. Feel free to say hi to us, guys, if you happen to see us there, because we're always happy to see you, our lovely fans. And of course, with that said, guys, this has been episode 2 of Fuuto P.I, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, guys.